So this is what I use my Weber grill for now. I really just use it to fire up my charcoal. So we're going to use this to start the smoking of our mac and cheese. I'm going to add a piece or two of probably a mixture of cherry and pecan. And then what we'll do is over on our barrel smoker, we'll start with the grate on top with the mac and cheese, the fire at the very bottom, and then we'll turn over our deflector, bring the fire on top of that, and then we'll grill our pork chops. I'll put the pork chops on as well at the very beginning when I put the mac and cheese on, so they get some smokiness to them. And then at the end, when I take the mac and cheese off, we'll let it sit in a warm oven, and then when I bring the fire up, I'll finish off the pork chops. Okay? So let's let the coals get hot, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got our mac and cheese, and it's kind of creamy. It's not too creamy or too hard. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our bacon, we're going to slice this up, and we're going to put the bacon in the macaroni and cheese. We want to add that little smokiness to it. So let's do that. I'll speed up the video a little bit while I do it, and then we'll be right back. One more strip there. Let's do one more strip. What about 4 strips? That should give us just the right bacon flavor. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this out on the grill. I've got the grill set at, or the smoker set at 275 degrees. I'm going to throw a little cherry wood on there. And then we're going to smoke this mac and cheese for about 15 minutes. Not too long, but just enough to absorb some of that smoke. So let's do this. Great. Then I'm going to get a shallow pan right here. I'm going to do a little spray on it, just a little spray, just so if we do get a little burning on there, it doesn't stick to it. And I'm going to transfer this mac and cheese to our tray. Looks great. Spread that out a little bit. And look, I don't want to, smooth this out. I want it kind of craggy in there, if you know what I mean, like some valleys, so that smoke can permeate that mac and cheese. Let's go make sure the grill's done or ready, and then we'll put this on the grill. Now what I'm really hoping for here is that in the next 10 minutes or so, this temperature comes up to about 250 to 275. In about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and put those pork chops on so they start smoking along with the mac and cheese. Then we'll pull the mac and cheese off. We'll raise our fire up to the high level, and then we'll finish the pork chops off right above the charcoal. Okay? So let's see how this all comes together. Okay, well, let's come in a little bit on this. And we have 3 really nice boneless pork chops. I actually like bone-in pork chops, but this is what we had, so this is what we're going to use. Now, what I want to do here is I want to use 3 different seasonings. I want to use the Killer Hogs AP seasoning. I want to use the Swine Life Mississippi Grind seasoning. And then I'm going to use the Killer Hogs steak rub. I'm not going to overdo it a lot with any one of these, but we're just going to lightly start with the all-purpose. This is a combination of salt, a little pepper, a little garlic. I really like how this tastes. Then I'm going to go with the Swine Life. Just a little bit of barbecue flavor to it. That on there. See, I'm not really overdoing these. And then the last that we're going to use is the steak rub. Steak rub's a little grainier. I really like that graininess to it. And it should stick pretty good to these. Looks like it is. There we go. Well, I'm going to turn these over gently, and I'm going to get a little bit of the sides there as I turn these over. Try to absorb as much as I can. Don't like to waste that rub. I like to use as much of it as I can. That one over, this one over, a little bit on those edges. And then we'll just rinse and repeat, right? Do the same thing over again. I think that's good. We're gonna give these just a few minutes to absorb all that in before we throw them on the grill. Remember, you're dealing with pork here, so you don't want to leave this out. This does not want to come to room temperature. You do not want to treat this like a steak. This is pork, so you have to be very careful how long you leave this out at room temperature. But 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we should be fine with that. We'll let these rest, then we'll go ahead and put them on the grill with the mac and cheese. Let it all be on the grill for about 5 minutes. Then we'll take the mac and cheese off and finish off these pork chops. Be right back. Okay, temperature is up right at 250, maybe a little more. We're gonna open this lid up. Oh my gosh, look at this. We got a little smoke on the top of these things. I'm still gonna do them around a little bit. Oops, I lost. Got someone down there. Now, I'm gonna leave these on for about 5 more minutes. Let a little smoke get back into the stuff that I just mixed up. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and add these chops. So let's go ahead and put these on. Let these chops absorb some of that smoke too. I'm going to leave the mac and cheese on there for maybe 5 minutes. I don't want it to stay on too much longer because then it'll really start to dry out. What we'll do here is we'll transfer this back to the pan. We'll add a little more milk to it, a little more butter, and we'll go from there. Let's close the lid. Had it open a little too long anyway. And we'll be back out in about 5 minutes. All right, this is awesome. We're at 275 exactly where we wanted to be. If we open up our lid, it's been about 5 minutes. We can see that our macaroni has got a little more color to it there. Let's go ahead and pull that off. I'm just going to pull it right over here for now. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. I'm going to flip these over. I'm going to cook them on this side for about 10 minutes. I want that smokiness to sink in first. Then I'm going to take the diffuser underneath, take it off, bring the coals up so they're on top of the diffuser. Then we'll finish these pork chops off and get a nice grill on them. I put a little more milk and a little butter in the pot that we had originally cooked the mac and cheese in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Let's dump this in there. I'm trying to do all this one-handed. Let's dump this in there. See if that goes in. Awesome. Great. We're going to stir that up. I just want this to get a little dried out a little on the grill, which I thought it would. Now we're going to add a little moisture to it. I have the burner on. Turn that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the burner off and I'm going to cover it while we let the pork chops finish. Okay, so let's turn that off, the cover, and we'll go check on the pork chops in about 5 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes. We've creeped up to about 285. Let's check these things and see where they are. Oh my gosh, look at the color of those. So let's see, we're at 122. 124, 118, that is perfect. So what I want to do now is I want to take the grate off. I'm going to raise the fire and I'm going to finish these right on the charcoal. Okay. I just raised the fire. You can see the fire right underneath these. I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. And I'm going to try to take them out. I've got a little bit of some of that cherry wood's burning there. I really don't want the flames to be directly on this. So I'll kind of pull these off to the side here. Now I'm going to let those finish like that. I'm going to close the lid. And we'll probably keep them about 5 minutes on each side. And then we'll check the temperature and see how they ended up. Let's flip these over. Oh man, those are looking good. Those are looking so good. Wow. Let's take a quick temp reading just to be on the safe side. Let's see where we are here. I got 138, 146, a little high, 136. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this little guy on top of this guy, right? I don't want him cooking that much anymore. We'll just leave him there off of the direct heat. Let's close the lid. We're going to give these about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Let's do a temp check. Oh my God, these look great. Look at this. Okay, 150 something, 150 something, 150 something. Let's take these off. They're perfect. We're gonna go ahead and foil these, let them rest for about 5 minutes. You know, this is the only thing I don't like about charcoal is I've got a whole lot of it left. That's because I just want to make sure I maintain the temperature. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close the lid, we're gonna close this vent, we're gonna close this vent, and you'd be surprised how much charcoal is gonna be left for us to use for another cook. So let's take these in, we'll tent them as I said, let them rest for about 5 minutes, and then we'll see how everything came together. Okay, so we got a little mac and cheese on the plate here. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more bacon on there because you can never have too much bacon. I'm going to transfer this beautiful pork chop here. And I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of this juice. That juice is unbelievable. Put that on there. Wow, that looks great. And yes, we're not worried about how beautiful the plating is right now. We're just going to worry about the taste here. So let's take a bite of this. Wow, this looks fantastic. I'm just going to do the pork chop first. Wow. So good. Those seasonings come through so well. Pork chop is cooked perfectly. I'm going to take a little hit of this macaroni and cheese. Let's see how this is. Wow. Now, I will tell you, earlier I said the mac and cheese might be too smoky. It has calmed down a little bit, and my beautiful wife said it would. When I add a little more milk and butter or cream and butter, and it has. So this macaroni and cheese really came out good. But I'm going to tell you, I think next time I'm probably going to put the mac and cheese on for only about 10 minutes total. Maybe 5 minutes, stir it, then 5 minutes more. But it did. It really imparted a great smoky flavor to that macaroni and cheese. Now, let's do a little combo here. Pork chop, look at that. Pork chop even has a little smoke ring to it there. Look at this. Little smoke ring right there and right there. But it's still cooked perfectly. It's very juicy, very tender. I know you can't see me, but let me tell you, it's excellent. So let's recap what we did here. We made just straight macaroni and cheese, Kraft macaroni and cheese. Diced up some bacon, put it in there, put the mac and cheese into a shallow pie pan, put our pit up to about 275, threw some apple, some pecan chips in there, seasoned our pork chop with our rub, AP rub, Mississippi grind, and then the steak rub. Put the macaroni and cheese on the grill for about 10 minutes. Stirred it 10 minutes more. At about that first 10 minutes, we put our chops on. Took the mac and cheese off after about a total of 20 minutes. I'm going to cut that down to 10 minutes total next time. Then we grilled our chops until the internal temperature got to about 145, actually about 150-ish. Pulled them off and let them rest for 10 minutes. And it's a fantastic dish. I know it's simple. This is the very first dish I wanted to cook on my new Bronco smoker from Oklahoma Joe's, and there's a lot more coming. So hey, thanks for watching everybody, and have a great night.